Hey y'all, and welcome to Stivers Homestead. I'm Jen, and you're just gonna get me today. So I want to talk to y'all about a few things. I want to show you a few things in this store, and then just kind of go over a few things that I think are really important that I want you all to know. So let's get into it. So for obvious reasons, not everyone who sees our online store can come to our in-store store, our physical store that we have here on our homestead. And I know that's kind of disappointing for some because it's really cool to see it in person. There are some fundamental things that we have in the store that are not always online. The setup is a little different, the organization's a little different, so that's not something that everyone gets to see. You know, a lot of people can't travel to Southeast Kentucky and come here. A lot of people can't come to the cottage, and we totally get that. So mainly I want to show you the kind of setup that we have with our tinctures in store to help you get a little bit of understanding. It's a way that I can't really figure out how to show online. All the tinctures online have everything that they are good for, their main purposes, what we do with them. It comes with the instructions, all that kind of stuff. But there's just a little bit extra organization to it that we have in store that makes it a little bit more, I guess you could say, user-friendly, or a little bit easier to understand when you can put your physical eyes on it and when you can touch stuff. So that's what I'm going to show you first. So this is the tincture setup that we have in store. Obviously when you're online, it's nothing like this. You're just seeing each tincture for what it is. You can read the description, you can see what they're good for, how to use them, etc. But this is the way that I have it set up in the store so that when you physically come in, you can see each category and what they're good for. So this doesn't accurately show all quantities. There's more online because we have extra stock and we have stock down there at the bottom and stuff that isn't in stock right now. But this is how I have it set up. So this first row is for sleep and anxiety. So you've got your lemon balm, you've got your lavender, you've got the chill out tincture, valerian root, and the chamomile. All of those herbs that we made into medicinal medicine are so wonderful for sleep and anxiety. My personal favorite being the lemon balm. That's what I always give people as a go-to. I tell them if you need help sleeping at night, if you need help calming down, if you have just a real bad anxiety day and you want to take that down to a manageable level, that lemon balm is so easy, it's so light, it really doesn't have much of a taste at all. You can put it in water, you can put it in juice, or you can take it by itself, and it does that calming effect so well. And if you take it right before bed, it helps you sleep at night. And that's my personal favorite for that category. Our next category that we line out in the store is for women's support. So that's for chaste tree berry tincture, that's for raspberry leaf, and corn silk. So all those things are wonderful to help support your reproductive system, your hormonal system, urinary tract for corn silk. Raspberry leaf is really good for morning sickness and digestion. And then the chaste tree is really good for reproductive health, hormonal stuff like that. So that's our woman support category that we love. We always like to highlight that one because we have a lot of women that come in saying, hey, can you help me with this? Our next category I call healthy heart. That's things like raspberry leaf, rosemary leaf, astragalus root. There's also hawthorn that we don't have right now, but that's always wonderful for healthy heart. And also the turmeric, which is usually on here as well. That is so wonderful for any kind of healthy heart, any kind of inflammation, getting your blood flowing, reducing inflammation, all that stuff. So that's kind of our healthy heart category. Another thing you're going to see that is not necessarily mentioned online, or that we don't always throw out there, is that some of these tinctures are in multiple categories. And that's because they're really good for a bunch of things. Like elderberry is cold and flu. Turmeric is good for inflammation. It's good for your heart. Raspberry leaf is really good for indigestion, for morning sickness. So that could be indigestion, and then again, woman support. So you'll see multiple tinctures over different categories. Tinctures don't have one specific purpose, and herbs don't have one specific purpose. There's just many different herbs that cover different areas, and I like to kind of highlight them and put them in all those areas, so you're not just thinking, well, this tincture, this herb does one specific thing. It can be carried across many different platforms and many different uses. Our next category is our skincare. So that's stuff like our oregano oil that's back there. I have more of it, I just need to put it up here. Our lemon cedarwood beard oil that everyone loves. Zach's favorite, he uses every day. We have our calendula body oil, and then our lavender face toner. So that is my favorite that I use every single day. It's so good for your face, so good for your complexion. It's such an important part of my routine. But these are herbs that were, again, made into oils or different carriers that are so good for your skincare. The next category is our immune support, and then cold and flu, which go hand in hand together, but I just kind of separate them so that people can get a better idea of what each thing does. But we have echinacea for that. We have our elderberry, our allergy and sinus super tincture, our marshmallow root tincture, our mullein leaf tincture, and then our astragalus root. So sometimes there's a few more over here that we're out of stock of, but all those things are so wonderful for your cold and flu, for your immune support, for boosting that during the nasty seasons, and really just the all-around time of year. Which brings me to my next point. People always say, do I only take tinctures when I feel like I need them, or if I'm sick, or if I'm going through that specific ailment at the time? The answer is no. The answer is you should always have those tinctures in your system. Herbs are not like your quick fix. They're not like ibuprofen. They're not like a quick antibiotic that you might get, you know, really quick from your doctor's office. They have to stay in your system and build up over time, because it's food, and food is our medicine. So you can't take a tincture one time and expect, you know, immaculate immediate results. You are going to have that in your system. You're going to need to take it daily, especially for the cold and flu and the immune support, especially for the heart healthy stuff. You can't just take something for blood pressure when you're having a bad blood pressure day. You need to always have it in you so that your body knows how to use it. They know how to use that food and to break it down and to use it for what it's good for. Our next category is for pain and inflammation, and usually that's where our turmeric is going to be, but we're out of that, so we don't have that on there right now. But we have rose hips tincture, which is really good for pain and inflammation. Our chickweed, which chickweed is also good for weight management, but it's also really good for pain management. And we have nettle leaf, which is wonderful, rosemary leaf, and then we have our burdock root, which is our all-time bestseller favorite tincture that everybody loves. Not only is it good for cleaning your blood, it detoxifies the body, it helps with pain, it helps with getting rid of toxins and just keeping your system flowing and healthy like it should be. Our last but not least category, and honestly I could make more categories, but these are just like the main ones that are user-friendly to help people understand with words, you know, symptoms basically that we all have regularly. So that's our digestion and stomach support, that's our raspberry leaf again, and that's our peppermint. So those things are both so wonderful with digestion, with keeping your system regular, keeping down bloat, and just keeping everything moving and feeling right and not hurting. And you know, digestion is a problem for everyone, right? We all need digestion support, especially as you start aging, even getting into your 30s. You need that digestion support really for the rest of your life. A lot of people will take what they call stomach pills, which is like your omeprazole, the generic ones, all the ones that you get over the shelf that come with that stuff. But these have been a lifesaver for a lot of people that we know, and for us as well. A lot of us will eat things sometimes that our bodies necessarily don't need and that don't react well with us. And I'm not saying this is a fix for that you can eat anything you want and then take these and it'll help with your digestion. It will, but that's not the right answer. The right answer is keeping your gut healthy with certain herbs and certain tinctures, so that sometimes when you might splurge and have something that your body doesn't necessarily agree with, that these are already in your system as food, and they know how to help you, they know how to take down those symptoms, they know how to give you relief, and it's food, and they're good for you, and they taste good. So that's kind of the setup of our tinctures and an overall of the categories and what they're good for. Down there is where we have our Overstock, so when we're doing orders and stuff like that, we'll pull it from the bottom, and then these are the ones that when people come in the store, their eyes go to, and that's what they pick. So a lot of people ask, like, what's your setup? How do you do this? How do you keep it moving and flowing? And this is kind of that. It's very short and sweet and simple. It's nothing complicated. It's very user-friendly. While I've got you in the store, we do have new teas in stock. I know we had talked a few weeks ago, a few videos back, about restocking those teas and that they would be back, but we never officially announced that they were. So I want to tell you that now. Some are our favorite summer teas, some are our favorite classics, but they're all back in stock. So I want to show you real quick what those are, how they're good for you, how it's food and medicine for you, but how it also just boosts your day. If you're not a huge coffee drinker like me, I love my tea. I can't do my mornings without my tea, and I can't do my evenings without my tea. So if you're anything like that and you're interested, here's my favorites. All of our teas are herbal and organic, and they're good for you, but these are my two favorite, like really, really good for you if you really need to pick me up, is our elderberry shield tea. Obviously elderberries are wonderful. They do amazing things for your immune system and for the flus and the colds in this nasty time of year, but it's also just so tasty and so good. And then our cranberry apple apple tart herbal tea I literally cannot live without. I'm one of those people who need cranberry in my diet at all times because it's so good for my urinary tract. So that is something that I absolutely have to have and can't live without it. And it tastes so good. It's got the apple tart flavor to it as well with the cranberry. Neither one of those is overpowering. It's just so good for you. Next are some of our classics, but this one we can hardly keep in stock. This is a favorite of everyone, and that's the chocolate chai tea. It is so good. It's so rich and so yummy, and it's so good for you. Our campfire spice tea is one of our favorites for everyone, but especially men. They absolutely love it. It's not only good for the wintertime when you just need to feel all warm and good inside. It's good for summer nights. It's good for sitting around a fire. You feel like you're drinking something that's much more rich than tea, but you're not, and it tastes like it, and it's also good for your body. And then our creme brulee, our classic, probably my all-time favorite, just because it's a classic and it's good for any occasion, any morning, any evening. But it's also a fan favorite, and it's really good, and it's back in stock. And then our three favorite summer teas that are so good for any time, morning, night, afternoon. They just give you that taste of summer, especially around this time when you might be sitting by a pool, you might be sitting on your porch, you might be starting your morning, or going to bed at night with a little sip of summer. So that's our Where's the Beach green tea. We name all these, by the way. That's one of our favorite names that we do. That one's got low caffeine. Our Southern Sunshine tea is so yummy, smells so good, tastes so good, and it's good for you. It's got calendula in it and lemon balm. And then our Blueberry Meadows green tea, which a lot of people absolutely love. It's a green tea, obviously. It's got blueberries, and the caffeine's medium, and it's so yummy and so rich. You know, I've truly been into herbal medicine as far back as I can remember. It's kind of a family thing that naturally got passed to me, and now as an adult, just that urge to learn more and more about them becomes stronger every day, and to figure out what I can do with these herbs. And you know, sometimes you want that medicinal flavor, sometimes you want to mask it by a wonderful tea or a tincture. And medicine doesn't always have to be in the form of medicine, and herbs don't have to be in the form of overwhelming or, you know, too much up front to where you're not sure what to do with any of it, and you're just like, well, this is medicine, I don't want to mess up. There's so many different forms that you can make those into that not only are good for you, but they taste good, they look good. You can share it with your friends, and they don't even know they're having medicine enter their body. They just think it's a yummy drink or a yummy food. And that's probably one of my favorite thing about herbs, is just the way that you can mix them and match them, the way you can put them together to make them compound medicine, you know, like our super tinctures, or the way you can turn them into teas so that nobody even knows they're getting medicine. I don't know if I love learning about herbs and tinctures and teas more, or if I love sharing them with you all more, because you would not believe the amount of questions, the emails, the comments, the messages, all that stuff that we get on the daily of you all wanting to know, what is this stuff? What is it good for? How can I do it myself? How can I purchase? How can I start, you know, my life getting better with these things? And it's a goal every day that I have, and I can't do it every day because we don't want to overwhelm you all. You know, we don't want it to always make it like a selling point, but with the amount of flooding messages that come in, it's like, well, how can we turn this into something that is informational, something that is accessible to all of you? You know, you can always have access to it on our store, but yet you have also got the knowledge, because I try to do these videos at least once a month that not only highlights our products, but that also teaches you, so that if you're in the position to where you want to start this lifestyle, or you want to start moving towards herbal medicine and start getting healthy for yourself, then I'm giving you the knowledge to do it. And if you're not in that position, that's why we're here, because we totally understand. There was a point in time when we weren't in that position, and we, one, didn't have the time to learn, two, couldn't find the products, three, couldn't afford the products, couldn't get our hands on it, but I would purchase from other people at, you know, affordable levels. And then once I would purchase it and I was putting it into my body, I had to figure out, what's this actually doing to me? What's it good for? And that's when the learning process starts. And then I started doing it on my own. So we get it. You're either in one of those two positions, or you just don't care at all, and that's fine too. But we always hope you care about your health and about learning about herbals, because one day that might be all we have. And I think that's what God intended it to be. And I think, you know, eventually, hopefully, we'll all get back to that, to where we're not worried about synthetic medicine. We're not worried about going to the doctor and getting a pill for every symptom, or, you know, every issue that we have. So that's why we do this. That's why I want to do this video, because I always want to put those two things out there for you, either the option for you to purchase it for us or the option to get this wealth of knowledge on your own from us and then do it yourself, and then maybe start your own little business going forward. That's what we hope for everyone. That's our goal here, is for everyone to be sustainable in every aspect that we do, but most importantly in this aspect, because your health is really all you've got at the end of the day, and you want to be here for as long as you can so that people can love on you and you can love on them and you can live your best life. So I hope all that makes sense. I always hope that it comes across in a way that's not overwhelming or not pushy, that's just simple information. You know, take notes if that helps. That's what I do. Whenever I go to learn anything, I take my own notes, and I just hope that it always comes across in a user-friendly way so that you can start to do this as well, or you can just know about what we do and know that those products are available. So we are going to spend the rest of the day probably with our Airbnb guests that are coming. We have some more people coming. We're really excited about that. June has been a whirlwind of guests, and it's been awesome. We have met so many people. So many people have got to experience our farm. They've got to milk, they've got to see the gardens, they've got to hang out with cats, dogs, all of our animals, our goats. They enjoy it and we enjoy it as well. So we have more guests coming today that we're gonna hang out with, and then we have some more coming this weekend that we're gonna hang out with, and we love it. It's one of our favorite parts of this journey, is having the cottage up there and getting to spend time with people from everywhere and making friends and lifelong connections. So we're gonna go do that. We're gonna cook dinner for them. We're gonna spend the evening with our kids, but I hope you all enjoyed this video. It was just me. Hopefully that's okay with you. Zach will probably, well, obviously he'll be on the next one. He always is, but we love y'all, and we hope you have a wonderful evening and a wonderful weekend, and we will see you on the next one. Bye.